Hey guys, what's going on? I'm retired Navy SEAL Chris Sajnog and founder of the New Rules of Marksmanship training system. In this video, I'm going to discuss what is dry fire training. Let's go ahead and get started.
Joining me now is retired Navy SEAL sniper Chris Sajnog.
I get the question all the time, what is dry fire training? Most people, when they hear the term dry fire training, they just think about pulling the trigger. Like that is the only thing you can do. And maybe we just need to change the term that we use. And sometimes I do, and I talk about dry weapons manipulation or dry weapons training. Because when I talk about dry fire training, I'm talking about anything that helps make you a better shooter. It could be working on your grip strength or your eyesight, meditation. So you're working on that brain power up there to make you a better shooter. It could be any manipulation such as doing your reloads or clearing malfunctions in your gun without having to shoot. Really anything besides making the gun go bang that helps make you a better shooter is dry fire training. So that is my definition of it, and I hope you accept that as well. With that said, let me give you 10 steps that are going to help you every time you do dry fire training that involves a firearm. So step number 1 is to always come up with a plan. If you don't know what you need to work on, you're really wasting your time. I don't want you to just pull out your gun and start pulling the trigger or start really doing anything with that gun without knowing what you need to work on. Hopefully you have a training notebook that you're logging all your training in. So you should be able to look at that and go, okay, I need to work on, say, drawing my pistol. Maybe drawing your pistol is the slowest part of you getting your first shot off in a competition. So if you can isolate exactly what you need to work on and you write it down, you'll be able to work on that and you'll be able to progress in your shooting a lot faster. So the next thing I want you to do is make sure you go into a room by yourself. Hopefully you have a place in your home or somewhere where you're alone, and when you go into this space, your body, every part about you knows, hey, this is where I do my dry fire training, and your body's gonna start getting ready for that. So go into this place and make sure that it's quiet and nobody's gonna disturb you. So the next thing I want you to do is make sure that you turn off your cell phone, turn off your iPad, turn off your computer, turn off your PS4. Can't turn your kids off. I've got 2 kids, I know. Anything you can that's gonna be a distraction, make sure you turn it off so you can focus on what you're doing and your dry fire training. So number 4 is you wanna make sure that you clear out your weapon, both physically and visually. This is also gonna involve your magazines. So checking all your magazines, or if you're wearing any gear or equipment that could possibly have ammunition in it, you want to make sure that you check those and double check them to make sure that there's no possible way that any ammunition could get in your gun. Because when I say dry fire training, and I hear somebody else say, oh, I had a negligent discharge or an accidental discharge when I was dry firing, well, guess what? You weren't dry fire training. You were shooting a gun, because dry fire training, by definition, or at least my definition, does not involve any ammunition. So with that, when you clear out your guns and you clear out your magazines and you clear out all your gear, take all that ammunition, and the best thing to do is to really put it in another room and make sure that there's no way that it could possibly get into your gun. It can't even get into the room. Now, if that's not possible, at least make sure that you have a container that you can lock, put all your ammunition in. So again, there's no possible way that any ammunition is getting in your gun. All right, number 5 is make sure you have a target with a good, solid, bulletproof background. I have a couple bulletproof vests that I will actually set up and use for my dry fire training. Now, you may not have something like that, but some good alternatives are a brick wall or a couple bricks that you can set up and put your target in front of. Either way, just make sure that there's nothing that you could possibly shoot that is in line with the direction that you're dry fire training, and that is critical. Now, number 6 is like a mental thing that I want you to do, but actually say to yourself, I am dry fire training right now. and maybe say it like 3 times. There's been times where there's been accidents that happen, and maybe you've seen them on YouTube and they're tragic, where somebody goes to practice dry fire training and something happens and then they end up having a negligent discharge. And I don't want that to happen to you. So say it. I am dry fire training right now. I am dry fire training. And get that into your neural pathway so your whole body knows this is it. I'm not shooting a gun. I am practicing dry fire training right now. Number 7 is just to go through that list of the techniques that you want to work on. You've got your training notebook, you've got it all out. Actually go through now and do your dry fire training. Don't just go jumping around and randomly training different things. You want to do practice on what I call like your crux. What do you need to work on the most at this point in time in your training? Because it changes every day, and that's why it's critical to have a training notebook. So go through that, and once you're through with it, then you can stop your training, but don't jump around and go, oh yeah, I also need to work on this. If you think you need to work on something else, write it down in your training notebook so you can train it later. Number 8 is if you make a mistake when you're training, I want you to go back 1 step and correct it and do it right. The reason why is if you continue doing something wrong, you're reinforcing bad habits. I can give you an example right here, and let's say that I'm practicing doing a magazine reload, and I go to grab my magazine and I bring it up and I just miss the magazine well, like completely miss it. What I want you to do is go back 1 step. So I'm gonna go back to here, and now I'm gonna do that again properly and make sure that it goes in properly that time. So whatever it is, when you're doing what I call isolation drills, go back 1 step so that you're doing it perfectly every time. Now, this doesn't apply if you're doing situational training like room clearing or something like that. You don't want to every time go back and correct your mistakes, because in situational training like that, that's what you want to do, is you want to learn from those mistakes, because different things can happen. But with the magazine reload, there's only one way you want to do it. And you want to make sure that you're practicing it properly each time. So next up, you just want to make sure that your dry fire training session should generally be between 5 and 20 minutes. You don't want to sit and work with your firearm so much that you start getting tired, you start thinking about other things that you need to do. You just don't want to get distracted. So as long as you can maintain focus, that is going to be the perfect time for you. So if you're starting to get distracted or you're starting to get frustrated, generally what I recommend is that you practice one thing that you can do perfectly, because you always want to end on doing something perfectly correct each time you train, but then just stop. Even if you're planning on practicing for 20 minutes and 5 minutes into it, you start to get frustrated or you start to get distracted, just go ahead and stop. There's going to be another day to train, and you want to make sure that you're training properly each time. All right, so last up, number 10 is make sure that you look at your training, look at what you did right and what you need to work on, and put that in your training notebook. And this is critical, because if you're not writing down what you do, the next time you go to train, generally you're just going to forget what you needed to do and maybe make the same mistakes that you made last time. So make sure you're logging all your training and keep that notebook with you so you can review it all the time. I hope these tips have helped you. Hopefully you understand a little better what I talk about, what dry fire training is and how to do it. And until next time, keep paving your path to perfection. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed watching that video. And if you did, I put together my top 3 videos for learning to shoot at home, and I want to give those to you absolutely free. Now, all you have to do is click the iCard that just popped up, or you can go to chrissajnog.com/free videos, and I will send you not only those top 3 videos that I have for learning to shoot at home, but I will also send you a free PDF copy of my New Rules of Marksmanship manifesto. Click the card, go to chrissajnog.com/free videos so I can send you those videos. Keep paving your path to perfection, guys.